Okay, guys, many of you guys may have seen the video that I made last week where I was talking about remote viewing a couple of years ago and having angelic guides show me that there were going to be temples and ancient things that were being brought to the surface from, it's almost as if they were going to be rising out of the ground. And since 2 years ago, when I first made that channeling, I then did some research last week, and I found about 10 or 15 different ancient sites and temples that have been found in the last 2 years since the guides told me that that would happen. And recently I found also that this structure that is a complete anomaly, a total enigma, has been discovered in Lake Michigan. This is a Stonehenge-like structure that has been found in the bottom of Lake Michigan that is prehistoric, that is 9,000 years old, which is 4,000 years older than Stonehenge, 2,000 years after the Ice Age, that is lying in the bottom of Lake Michigan in the United States, a complete and absolute enigma. And it makes no sense as to how it got there, why it's there, who these people were in the middle of Lake Michigan. So this is another ancient part of our human history that we have to piece together now. We, as many of you know, have been lied to about our entire existence. Our history has been completely a lie. Even the biblical stories tell us that we've only been around for 6,000 years, which is utter bull. We've got records and some other records that prove that we've been here well over 200,000 years old, or 500,000 years of Anunnaki records. However, we don't know our history because most of our history books have been lied about, and our teachings have been lied about, and our histories have been wiped out. And because, there's lots of reasons why. But anyhow, this is another very interesting site that was found in the middle of Lake Michigan, and I'm very curious to know if any of you Tartarian people or anybody else have any ideas of what this was and who these people were that would have lived near Lake Michigan 9,000 years ago, and how did these structures get in the bottom of the lake, and what are your guys' thoughts on this? This is a small part of a little bit of what was found under there. I have a lot of other images, but TikTok isn't allowing them because they're not the right size, so you can just go ahead and go to Google and try to find some of the other images. But again, an entire civilization essentially is believed now to be at the bottom of Lake Michigan. This is another of the very few pictures that it's allowing me to share. And I'm not exactly sure what the image is on this one on the right, but again, it's said that these structures look really almost identical to those that are in Stonehenge. So it's quite extraordinary. It's a fascinating find, and I'm sure that with enough research and enough archaeologists that can get in there and do some more work on this, it would be very interesting to find out who these people were in this region and how did this civilization end up under that lake. For many of you that are into the spiritual work, you may have past life memories or intuitive guidance on these types of things. Many of us, like myself, have memories of timelines like during Atlantis and Lemuria. And Atlantis still hasn't really been identified in terms of where it's actually located, nor really has Lemuria. And so it's an extraordinary process for us as spiritual beings and as human beings to piece together who we really are and what our stories really are. It's important that we are able to hold on to our history and to know what our stories are, not erase it as they've done many timelines before, and they're even trying to do in this timeline by having all of our true stories erased because people are offended by it. But it actually hurts the souls in the long run, because then we don't have memories of who we are when future generations come. So here we are looking at ruins that are in the bottom of Lake Michigan that are 9,000 years old, prehistoric civilization. And nobody knows who these people are and where they came from and how did they get there and what happened to cause their entire civilization to end up under the lake. What are your guys' thoughts on this? Does anybody else have any knowledge? I'd be so happy to hear what you guys have to say. And I'll see you guys next time. My name is Ellen Red. Namaste.